Thanks for being here today, and for those who attended the workshop, thanks for attending it, and for those who didn't, our key takeaway from this was we've tried to take you through the common life stages of a PPC account, and actually with so much technology change and so much information and data, what are the core things you need to look at to actually be successful and get the best results at the stage you're at. So we've applied the 80-20 rule, which probably you've heard talking a lot about today. We've talked a lot about how to work smarter rather than working harder. And don't forget, you have the white paper to download, the PPC, taking the right path to PPC success. So if you want to read more detail about that. Thank you.
Hi everybody, thank you very much indeed to everybody who took part in our sessions today. It was lots and lots of fun. We had 3 key areas that we asked you to look at. The first one was about how you brief your agencies, and that focused on ensuring that you focused on what it is that you're trying to achieve, why you're trying to achieve it, and who it's for. Remembering not to worry too much about how you're going to do it, because that's really for you and your partner agency to work together to challenge and come up with fresh ideas for. The second part of our talk was about brand, and what we asked you to do was to really consider, first of all, the elements that make up your brand, see beyond the visual and make sure that the values that underpin them are the ones that your customers need to know about you. And also to understand the nature of brand equity, and that this has a genuine value to you or your business, and to ensure that by promoting your brand equity and increasing it, there's a genuine payoff in terms of the amount that you're able to charge and the amount that people want to pay for your goods or services. And then our last takeaway was about the relationship between client and agency, one that's hopefully usually positive but has its bumps along the way. So what we asked you to think about there was dealing honestly with your partners, and crucially seeing agencies as we see ourselves, as service businesses that you should look to as partners rather than doers and providers. Thanks very much indeed.
The main thing is email is not dead. You all have email addresses, and therefore that answers his own question. Although we only have 20 years left, apparently, before that's not true. As we're apparently double that, what was next? One-to-one, right? So email works best as a one-to-one communication, so that really the point is to try and make it feel like that. It's working, isn't it? Data. A lot of you actually either don't have it, in which case go find out what it is, do surveys, find some way of or using behaviour of what they're actually doing to find out who you've got. The worst one is the people that are in the room who actually have the data aren't using it, or have the data's in another department or something like that. Go and sort that out, fix that, and use the data properly. Number one thing, if you're going to send an email to anyone and try and engage them with anything that you try and do, for the love of Pete, add value to what you're doing. So to add value, if anyone has any other further questions from the seminar that I didn't get a chance because we kept overrunning, please do ask us and we will answer those. Thank you.
Yes, right, so thank you everyone who came along to our workshop. I have brought along a small novel, so strap yourself in. Lock the doors. Yeah. So me and Mark, we talked about COPE, creating once and publishing everywhere, which is basically the syndication of content across the web, moving beyond traditional web publishing and thinking about what it really means to manage content. And we then explored how you cope with COPE by providing like reactive web hosting, so that people, when you actually reach your audience and they come back, your website doesn't actually die. Okay, so key points. Separate presentation. Separate content from presentation to make it more powerful, because web pages are not your content. Web pages are just where your content lives. And remember that when you preview your content, you're only getting a glimpse of how that content is consumed. Because when you ask yourself, how does my content look, you really should be asking, in what? Okay, thank you.